Hey, what's going on, guys? Back again with another one talking about health, wealth, happiness, success, making money, getting rich, all the good stuff in life, right? Well, I'll say all the good stuff. Well, we're going to talk about some of the bad stuff today. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you're coming on in. At least you can throw your boy a like, right? But yeah, the bad stuff, right? Becoming successful. I will tell you from experience, if you're starting from the bottom, which is the best place to start, actually. It is the best place to start. To build success is 2 loving parents and no money, right? But not a lot of people can even say that today, right? A lot of people are growing up in single-parent households. But yeah, man, the dark side to success, you're going to have to sacrifice everything. Everything's got to go, right? Depending on what you're trying to do, right? Because it doesn't just have to be about making money. It can be about getting in shape, fitness. You're going to have to tell your friends, no, I can't go out. No, I can't stay out late at night. No, I can't eat McDonald's after we've drank a whole bunch of alcohol, right? Whatever you're trying to do, it's going to require sacrifices. You got to sacrifice everything. I've sacrificed everything, right? And I know I hate talking about myself, but, I got to just put it out there, right? I'm not married, no kids, and because of this, I've been able to leverage the purchasing power and my money to get rich, to become successful, to start businesses and create different things and do content creation. I got time in my day, right? I'm at these volleyball courts on the beach, and there's nobody out here. It's because I had to sacrifice. I sacrificed everything. I see so many people say they want to get, they want to get rich, they want to become successful, they want to, do X, Y, and Z, but then they're caught up chasing women and they're caught up buying cars and having a car payment and all this BS. Even having kids, right? Now, I will say, the number one thing over money and everything else, it is children, it is family. That is the number one thing you should be going after. But I've seen so many people say they want to start businesses, but they keep knocking up different women, right? And it's just like, how are you supposed to become successful? How are you supposed to become a business owner and do all these different things, but you're having all of these babies and all of these children? They require attention, they require energy, they require money. Burning up gas, taking them to the doctors at 2:00 in the morning, right? Because they're throwing up in bed. All of these things are going to take away from whatever you're trying to do in life and wherever you're trying to go. So ultimate sacrifices must be made. I've talked about this with a few people that, that are around me, and nobody wants to give up anything, right? Nobody wants to give up what they have for what they actually want in life. And it's going to require major sacrifices. That is the downside to success. That's the downside to starting from the bottom. It's going to require ultimate sacrifices in life. Yeah, you're going to have to stop chasing women. Yeah, you're going to have to stop hanging out with friends. Yeah, you're going to have to stop going out and drinking and spending your money on stupid stuff. Or maybe, you love cars, but, you got to give up your car, right? Maybe you get something that's just paid off, something that just gets you back and forth from work, but you already have a good car. The car payments are fine, they're not killing you, but in order to actually get to where you want to go in life, to actually be, hit that level of success that you actually want to hit, it's going to require you to get rid of that car payment so you can use that extra money to fund whatever you need, to fund your business, to fund your life, to fund that idea that you have. Yeah, man. I've sacrificed so much in my life. Is it worth it? Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're chasing your goals, whatever you're trying to accomplish in life, it's definitely going to be worth it. But, it does suck sometimes. But again, if you really want it, the sacrifices will be made. The sacrifices must be made, right? You can't just be playing around. I know so many people that are into guns, right? And one of my buddies was just like, how do you always have all this extra money to invest and do what you need to do? And I'm just all like, let's take a look into your life. And the man goes out and buys a new gun every time we get paid, right? Or every time he gets paid. So every 2 weeks he's going to buy another gun, and he buys ammo, and he buys targets, and he goes shooting every weekend. And I'm like, here's what you do. Sell all your guns, maybe keep a few of them, and stop going out shooting, stop buying all this ammo for a few years, right? We're going to take all that extra income and fund our investments and to fund what we want to do, right? And to get where we want to go. And he was like, nah, man, I ain't giving up my guns. I ain't giving up my hobby. It's what I want to do. And so, again, It's the dark side of success. It's the sacrifices that are going to have to be made in your life. You gotta, you have to determine what those sacrifices are and if they're worth making. Most people just don't want to do it, man. But then the crazy part is they always just complain about their lives and, I can't do this, or I don't have money for that, and my life sucks, or I hate this job. And it's like, yo, you gotta make the sacrifices. Maybe it might be dropping that girl. It's like, yo, is that relationship really going anywhere? No. She's just there, something to do, somebody to keep you company. Yo, drop the relationship. Relationships cost, man. They cost energy, they cost time, they cost money. You always got to do stuff together and keep each other company, and maybe you might need to cut that relationship off to get where you need to go. And, the cool thing about it is once you have what you want, once you've attained that level of success you want in your life, whatever that is, you can always go back and get, the things you didn't have before. There's always time to come back. And there's always going to be that pit in your stomach as well. I don't know why I'm hitting my chest, but there's always going to be that pit in your stomach being like, man, I wish I could have, or if only I would have, man, like back in the day, I really wanted to. And you're always going to have that if you don't chase the dreams, if you don't go after what you want to go after in life. But it requires making the sacrifices today to get where you want to go. And yeah, man, the dark side of success, the sacrifices. Nobody wants to make them today. Nobody wants to make the sacrifices. Nobody wants to do what it takes to get what they want. It's what you truly want. And everybody rejects it, but then they always complain about life. And, we always see these little posts and stuff about all these 80-year-olds on the bed, and they're like, what's one piece of advice you can give the younger generation? They're like, I wish I had more time for this. I wish I had more time with my family. I wish I had more time with my friends. I wish I didn't work as hard, or I wish I would have chased my dreams and went after this, or I wish I would have traveled more, right? Make the sacrifices today to go after what you want, so you're not sitting in the bed at 80, 90 years old or whatever. We don't know when it's up, right? Make the sacrifices today to go after what you want. Maybe it's putting off dating and women and relationships and children and family, right? Maybe it's putting off going out late night with your friends and eating the garbage and just doing the BS, right? That's not helping you. That's not getting you where you want to go in life. Yeah, man. And to me, technically, I really don't even want to call it the dark side of success, but it is. Because I've talked to so many people on my journey of going where I want to go to and what I want out of life. And so many people just do not want to do it. That's why I have to call it the dark side of success, because nobody wants to make those sacrifices. Nobody wants to do, what it takes to get where they want to go in life. They'll always just, they'll always just, settle, right? For the mediocre life, if you will. I don't want to do that. I can't be that. I can't do that. And I'll sacrifice everything to get what I want. And it doesn't mean throwing people under the bus. It doesn't mean being mean to people. It's just, hey, man, I got to do what I need to do. I can't go over there. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I know you like me, but I can't be in a relationship right now, whatever. Because I'm telling you, you're going to hate it when you get older. And you didn't go after what you wanted to, even if you never achieve it, right? It's crazy. It's like, not everybody, but the chase, right? Going after your goals, you're going to feel so better to be like, yo, I tried. I did that. I went overseas. I went to, Brazil. I always wanted to go to South America, but I was just, too scared. I didn't know the language, but I did it. I took the trip. I started to do the content creation. I started to build a business. Whatever it is, man, make the sacrifices to go after your goals, to go after your dreams. Yeah, man, leave it all on the table, man. And again, the dark side of success, make the sacrifices necessary to go after what you want in life. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. Hit a like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.